Hey guys, it is a brand new Screen Team. Thank you for joining us on KWOC. Thanks for watching on our YouTube, Facebook, Twitter accounts. We're all over social media. We love the social media. We love to share it with you. So thank you for supporting us on social media. And I want to do a little introduction for you right now. We've got a brand new member of the Screen Team. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please give a round of applause for Brad? It's just me. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Brad, how you doing, man? You doing all right?
Awesome. Yeah. Great to be here with you.
You are a longtime listener, and now you are officially a member of the Screen Team. Why don't you give us some details about yourself? You're not originally from Poplar Bluff, is that right?
No, that's correct. So I grew up in Wisconsin, southeastern Wisconsin, kind of halfway between Milwaukee and Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I got to stop you there. I got to stop you. So
Okay.
if you're halfway, do you lean more Packer or more Bear?
Well, definitely Packers,
Okay.
but I'm a Cubs fan. So
I'm done. See you guys. I'm out.
yeah,
All
I
right.
thought that might get that reaction. But
All right, we're back. We're back.
Yeah, I grew up as a Cub fan,
Sure.
long suffering. But yeah, so did 27 years in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't lived there in a long time, although a lot of family still
Mm-hmm.
still resides there. And then my wife met my wife there. She's from about the same area.
Mm-hmm.
And so came to Poplar Bluff. She came about 2.5 years ago when she was selected as the new director for the VA hospital here. And I joined her about 6 months later. So I've been here just coming up on 2 years.
And you guys obviously work very, very hard with your jobs, but you also work very hard with the community. You guys do a lot of charitable work too, right?
Yeah, we do, and she takes it as one of her mandates is really because it is a community-based hospital, and she does a lot of community outreach. Not only for that, but because we love it, and we've really enjoyed Poplar Bluff and meeting all the people here and doing a lot. We do Kiwanis. We're both part of the Animal Welfare Association. We also do a lot of things. Downtown Poplar Bluff, trying to get that restored. We've bought a couple homes and restored them. One we live in, one we're still renovating and looking to try to have just get it back to its original glory.
Sure.
So it's just something that we really love to do.
Good night, man. You guys are way busy, and you're also a movie lover too.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that's taken a little bit of a slowdown since my wife and I have been married because she's not a huge movie buff. But I use this as an excuse to say, hey, I got to do some research, honey. Sorry.
Yeah, I forced Sabrina to do this, so I don't know how it is with you and your wife, but usually, like, if I'm watching a movie, I'm like, hey, hon, you see this guy? He was in this movie, and blah, and she's like, I don't care. What do you, I don't care.
Yeah.
So we got some good movies, some really, really good movies that Brad has picked for us today, and the first one is an old flick called They Died with Their Boots On. Obviously, it's not a very promising title, but the movie is good. Tell us about the premise of this movie,
Absolutely.
Brad.
So this is I guess you could call it highly fictionalized story of George Armstrong Custer, obviously from Custer's Last Stand. Great general during the Civil War, cavalry general who met his fate in I think it was June 25th, 1876, at the Little Bighorn. And of course, I think everybody probably has heard a little bit about that or something. But I say this is highly fictionalized. You got to kind of understand when this came out. It was made in 1941. So at that time, I think the U.S. America was looking for some heroes. Obviously, we had not quite gotten involved in World War II yet,
but it was close.
But it was very close.
Yeah.
And also another factor I think was the wife, Libby Custer, had spent a good 60 years by that time, really kind of creating a myth around her husband. So I think Hollywood took it from there. Not only obviously were we looking for a hero, and also of course Hollywood at that time was really looking to do that with most of their movies, just somebody that you could cheer for, and
Errol Flynn is definitely somebody you can cheer for.
Oh, absolutely.
My goodness gracious.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It didn't matter what he was doing, as long as, even if you knew at the very end, you knew his fate, as long as Errol Flynn looked at the camera and gave you that little twinkle in his eye, you're like, you know what? It's going to be okay for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, one of his biggest roles was Robin Hood.
Sure.
Great movie. But yeah, this one he played General Custer and Olivia de Havilland, who he appeared in 4 different movies with her.
Yeah.
And just a great pairing. But yeah, very highly fictionalized, obviously.
I don't mean to cut you off, but let's get into the personal about this. What is it about this film that you enjoy?
Yeah, this was probably, I got to say, one of my father's favorite movies. Mm-hmm. And growing up, this was something that my dad and I could always do, is enjoy a good movie together.
Yeah.
So I probably saw it 7 to 10 times back in the early 70s, mid 70s, when my dad and I would look forward to that Friday night or Saturday morning where we could hang out and just watch a movie together.
Yeah.
And something that I really enjoyed, and I think he was a big Errol Flynn fan.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like this for you, but like hearing a good song or watching a good movie, those things can take you back into time in a sense.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the way it is for me. If I watch an old movie I used to watch with my grandpa, it kind of takes me back to that time and setting.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And I definitely feel that way about this movie. I hadn't seen it probably in about 20 years until we had decided to do this one, and so I, of course, went and did my research and watched it again, and it absolutely brought up memories of my dad. I lost him, about 5 years ago, mm-hmm. and it definitely brought back some good memories. The film didn't probably hold up as well as I thought it would.
Sure.
And I didn't, I could go back and being a big history buff, which this film probably gave me some of that interest in history.
Yeah.
As a lot of films did. And it made me go back and kind of research, because I do remember watching it with my dad and asking him, is that really how Custer became a general?
Yeah.
Obviously during the movie, a pretty good scene. Custer is basically promoted on accident, and it becomes a kind of a joke and almost a fight at the camp when everybody starts referencing him as General Custer and stuff, and he almost gets in a fight with it. But and of course that's not exactly the way it happened, but it
makes a good story point.
It does. He did become the youngest brigadier general in the Union Army shortly after he graduated from West Point early. So I believe he was 22 or 23 to become a brigadier general. So
amazing.
So quite amazing. He did get to pin on a second star, major general, and was actually invited to be at Appomattox Courthouse when Robert E. Lee surrendered. So so he became very important. He was one of the better cavalrymen for the Union Army. So that was all, relevant in the story, but they kind of made it seem like it was a big accident.
Yeah.
So.
Not only do we give you movie reviews, we give you history facts as well, folks. This is what we're all about here. Would you want to see this movie remade?
That's a good question. And I would almost steer away from ever trying to get to remake a classic. And that's not 100%. But some of the movie remakes I've seen have not been really worth the remake.
Yeah.
And who do you get to play, Custer after Errol Flynn?
That's a good point.
That's a tough thing. And just because special effects are better now, just because of obviously the color. This was a black and white movie, so I know a lot of younger people. My kids won't watch a black and white movie.
I will tell you one thing. You had mentioned the special effects. I forgot. I think it was midway through this film, they show a battle sequence, and the epic shots that were in this scene were incredible. There was just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of horses and soldiermen, and there were, you know, it was an epic, beautiful shot. I was very surprised for how impressive it was.
Yeah, with all the historical inaccuracies, the great part of the movie, and something you've got to kind of just let that go and just enjoy the movie for what it is.
Yeah,
and that's really what I enjoy is the action shots. It's actually, I did look up, and it's kind of sad that I believe 2 people were actually killed during the filming of the movie.
I think you're right.
And and several horses. I don't remember if they had an exact number, but because of some of the battles at the the Little Bighorn, where Custer and 200 or so men of his were slaughtered. They did it in kind of a cavalry charge kind of thing, and that's not really what happened, but it makes a much more exciting scene. You know, they have both the Indians and the cavalry charging towards each other, and then, you know, of course, when the guys are shot, they have the horse trip and fall, and you know, it's, you know, PETA probably would not allow that to be filmed that way nowadays. But yeah,
it's epic looking, but maybe not too safe. He's Brad. Yeah. I'm Chris. The movie is called They Died with Their Boots On. Coming up, we're gonna move on to a Clint Eastwood flick called $1 Million Baby. It's next right here on the Screen Team.